Hello friends, Kid Charming here. Now I'm going to begin this video by telling you I slept maybe 3 hours last night. I'm going to tell you why. Now, what I'm about to tell you, I don't want you to, if you're squeamish in any way or you have a lot of like emotional triggers, don't even entertain the thought of looking any of this up, because I couldn't sleep last night because of it. So I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Matt Patton, his wife Stephanie, and they were playing a game called Doki Doki Literature Club. Seemed pretty normal, but they kept giving disclaimers about, you know, if you have like triggers or whatnot, like it deals with a lot of like adult type things like depression and other things, from what it sounds like, possibly parental abuse, like being abused by a parent, stuff like that. The main character seems to be like a sociopath of some sort. And one of these young ladies is a controlling, scary person. So it almost like, it plays itself off to be like a dating sim. Everything seems fine and normal, other than the fact that the person you're playing as is kind of a jerk, and there's got to be something wrong with him. Like, he's messed up, man. And in the gameplay, like things get weird. Like the fourth wall gets broken by the president of the literature club. Her name is Monica, and she starts talking about like saving your game before making a decision, because you never know when you might want to change your mind. And you're like, this doesn't normally happen in one of those dating simulators. Like, they never ever mention the fact that it's a game. Most games don't. No, they don't break the fourth wall, unless you're Deadpool. Then you break the fourth wall all the time. I'm really tired. So like, you're kind of off put a little bit. And they did this live, so I'm watching one of their streams that was live at one point, but I'm watching through it. I don't know if I'm going to continue or not, because what I saw last night deeply disturbed me. It may have been cartoon or anime looking, but still, like, it was the music. And when it comes to like thrillers or scary movies, the music is what gets me. Always the music. The music freaks me out all the time. But they start courting this girl that was the next door neighbor that you've grown up with your entire life, because you're playing as this dude. And everything seems to be fine. She invites you over to be part of this literature club, and everything's great. And then all of a sudden she starts pulling away. And she's like, no, you need to be friends with everybody else. I can't take up all your time. And you're like, what the hell's happening? Like, I've been devoting everything that I did in this game so far into courting this girl. Like, you know, she's the one I want to be with. And then she tells you that she has crippling depression. And you're like, oh no. Like, holy crap. And the thing is that the hosts of the YouTube, Matt and Steph, they actually, like, they are genuinely good people, from what I can tell. I don't know them personally, but from what I can tell on stream, they're very compassionate and very caring people. They both seem a little controlling at times, but that's fine. So they're like, Matt, you can tell he's affected because he gets all, like, because when he's reading the lines, he gets all sniffly, and you can hear it in his voice that it's like trembling a little bit, because he's a sensitive guy, which is really adorable, and I like that. But he's reading this and he's like, oh no, oh no. And his wife's the one that's reading for this particular person. Because I like to make jokes early on about stuff to keep things light and airy or whatever. But like, all of a sudden, like, boom, 360, and they're talking about this girl who has depression, and their player character, the person they're playing as, is like, you know, I want to do whatever I can to make you feel better. Like, you know, what can I do? And then all of a sudden, like, they get together and they're a couple, and it's like, oh, great. But she's still like crippling depression. She's like, this should feel better, but I don't feel better. I feel terrible. And then the next day is supposed to be a festival, and you are... So, hold on. The girl next door talks about how the reason why she's late for school and why her, you know, her hair is always disheveled, and that the reason why, like, everything is just because she's so depressed. She doesn't wake up on time. She doesn't want to even get out of bed. So the next day, he's like, where is she? You know, I can't wait for her. And then he gets to school and he's like, you know what? Whatever. And then Monica, this weird chick who is supposed to be like the best looking and whatever, is like, oh, you left her hanging. Why would you do that? Like, you know, why didn't you wake her up this morning, you know? He's like, oh, that dummy didn't get up or whatever. And then he's like, and then I felt very, very, like, and then you have the inner monologue where he's like, and then I felt stupid and dumb and insensitive because I remember what she told me yesterday about how serious her depression was and that I should have been there for her and woke her up this morning. And then Monica's like, here's the pamphlets that I made. And... like, it's like poetry that they were all, each one of them had written. And then the one for the girl next door, when he looks at that one, he's like, the actual heck, dude. It was just like, get out, get out, get out of my head, 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 get out of my head. And I'm like, what the frick is going on? Like, this is where it takes like this dark, twisted turn. And I'm like, I don't think I like where this is going at all. But I'm intrigued enough that I have to continue to watch this. And so I did, which was a bad idea because the music had changed. You could tell the feeling of this whole game had just shifted. And you're like, the whole game had made you feel uncomfortable this entire time. Like the way the person you were playing as was, like all the interactions you were having always made you feel uncomfortable, which one I hate about anything is when things make me feel uncomfortable. But I guess we all hate things when they make us feel uncomfortable. But what happens is he's like, I have to get out of here. I have to go and see her. So he's like, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go get her. And she's like, okay, don't strain yourself. And he runs back home and he knocks on the front door of his friend, girlfriend, whatever. And she doesn't answer. So he opens the door and he calls for her. No response. He goes up to her bedroom. He knocks on the door. No response. So he slowly opens the door. And this is when you see, like, they had already taken it off, like, the big screen just in case it was something really disturbing. Because they're like, I don't like where this is going. And if this is something really bad, I don't want these guys to see it. Like, I don't feel like it would be comfortable for them. So they took it off the screen because they're really nice people, like I said. But Matt and Steph both freak out when the next screen happens. And you don't know what's on the screen yet. So he's grabbed a pillow and he's curled up like this. And he's like, oh my God. And you can see like this terror on his face. And this guy's played all the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I'm telling you, he knows a scare when it comes. And this one disturbed him. And you could tell it was disturbing. And his wife was like, oh gosh. Like, oh my, like her hands were up and like, then you find out why. He's like, I think you can put it on screen. But they had warned you multiple times during this playthrough, because this is in like the third episode. They had warned, like, if you have like issues, don't watch this. Like, seriously, don't. This could trigger you. This is not going to be fun. Like, there are a lot of themes here that are going to be disturbing. Like, it is a thriller game, which I didn't really understand. I thought they was just going to cover some things. I didn't think it was going to be some weird thriller that like messed with my head. Like I couldn't sleep. I was terrified. I'm easily terrified though. But this, for whatever reason, it was definitely the music, really got me. And I was like, and all I could think about is what I saw next, which was this cute little girl who had, again, if you have issues, don't watch the rest of this. Like what I'm about to say is going to probably trigger you. So I'm warning you right now, if you have issues, don't watch this. And if you're Riley in Georgia, do not look up this game. This is Buddy telling you, do not do it. I'm not being overly, well, I am being overly protective, but still, don't do it, guys. I love you too much for you to be as disturbed as I am right now. I don't care if you think you're strong enough to deal with it. Both of you are way too sensitive for this. I'm telling you right now, don't you ever look this up. Last thing I need is your mother calling me going, what did you do? They said that they watched you talk about this and that they got interested in watching. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. You guys are far too kind and gentle to see this game. Don't do it. I love you too much. Just don't. All right, back to the rest of you. I know some of you that watch this do have battle with some things, so you may not feel comfortable watching the rest of what I'm about to say either. So I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to click away or to skip to the end of the video, or skip a little further. Okay, so for the rest of you, what you see is this cute little girl who has hung herself. And it's really weird and glitchy, which is really the part. I think that's some of the things. And the music gets all twisted and like something from like a horror film. Like, when they do that like wind up box sound and then they make it all distorted like it gets at the end before, the music stops. So it gets all like do 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 do. That is what it sounded like. And things are glitching now. Like things are glitching. This cute little girl who has now hung herself is kind of like fading in and out like static, and then things in the background start going weird and it's like a code error has happened, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, the frig is happening right now. This is terrifying and weird and makes me super uncomfortable and I don't know what to do. So I continue watching because I'm an idiot. So everybody in the chat's going, you have to check the game code. You have to check the game code. You have to check the game code, because they continue and it's like, end. The game's over. Bye. And they're like, whoa, wait. That can't be the end. So when they load up the game again, there was 4 girls at the beginning. His next door neighbor girl is all glitched out now. Like completely glitched. She's like now made out of little parts of the other 3 girls. And where it said new game is all glitched out, like with weird things. So I'm here like, holy crap. Now, I'm going to tell you, whoever created this game was a genius. An absolute horrifying genius. Like, psychologically terrifying. Like, this is a terrifying thing. And the game is like kind of rewriting itself at this point. Like, I am mind blown. So I'm going to watch more of this today. As long as I don't watch it before bed, I think I'll be fine. But I couldn't sleep because all I had was that image of that little girl. And I was like, holy crap. And it may have been a cartoon, but still, like, that's an image that was deeply disturbing because of the way it was presented. So we were like, go into the game code before you start over. Go into the game code. So they go into the game's code. Like the game's like information logs and stuff. And there is this one that was like happy place. And it was a disturbing video. Like children's like sketch of a girl hanging herself was glitched in the middle, like messed up stuff is happening. So I'm like, holy crap. I think that terrified me too. I was like, what the heck, man? I was in for a good time, and why is this happening? And then they look into like some of the code of the game, and someone's talking in the code. They're like, oh, I gotta fix this. Oh, well, maybe we'll just delete her instead. What? What? What is this? What is this game? Who invented this game? The game is now changing itself. So, genius person, I'm just telling you, like, hats off to you, buddy. You've created a game that now changes itself and changes the code and adds stuff to the game files. Like, that's what it is, the game files, not the code, the game files. Is adding and removing things from the game files. So they start over again, and everything's really glitchy, like it starts off like the same before, but then when this girl is supposed to come in, things get all glitchy. The game freaks out and restarts itself. And then he's like, yeah, I've always walked to school alone. What? Before you said you always walked to school with your next door neighbor. But Monica is the devil. So Monica is the one behind all this. Like, and you find out because before, when your player character, like when your person confesses that he loves his friend or whatever, in that time period, she says, maybe I should just listen to Monica. But you don't find out what Monica said. Monica's behind all this. She wants the player character for herself, is what I'm getting at, is guessing, because the next thing you know, she's the one inviting you over to the literature club. And she's like rewritten this game now where this person doesn't exist anymore. And when you go into the game files and you click on characters, she's not in there. Now, we don't know if she was in there in the beginning because they never checked it before. So we don't know if she was in there from the beginning, but all the three other girls are. So this game is like, he's like, this is messing with me. Like, it is a messed up game. It's interesting because I want to know what happens, but I know Monica's a psychopath. That I am sure of. Your player character is kind of weird and a little bit awkward and psycho, but not as much as Monica is. Like, this is like a messed up game. And if you have triggers, don't play this game. Don't watch people play this game because it's horrifying. But now that I've started, I have to finish it. I have a thing with closure. I can't express to you how much distress I was in last night. I could not sleep. I started having nightmares. Like, I couldn't sleep at all. So I've had like maybe 3 hours sleep. Am I going to torture myself again and continue watching this? Yeah. Should I? Probably not. I know it's just a game, and I think it was because I was tired and because it was so late at night and I was in a dark room. That's why it bothered me so much. But it sucked me in. And I hate thrillers and I hate things that are scary, but I have to finish this now. Feels like someone from freaking Jumanji. I have to finish this game now. But like, seriously, it was messed up. But I gotta see how this plays out. Because I have predictions that she's just gonna off these girls one by one until she's the only one left. I am terrified of this. Like, it is scary stuff. But I have to watch it. Again, Riley and Georgia, don't you dare. I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to tell them they shouldn't do these things. I'm 28. You guys are like just teenagers. I can't handle this. I don't think you guys can either. And I don't want your mother calling me up and yelling at me. When you're older, maybe. But right now, no. Definitely don't. Especially Georgia. Georgia, I love you, but you are a sweet and kind girl. Not that Riley isn't, but she's a little bit older and a little more mature than you are. But that would frighten you guys. I know it would. It frightened the crap out of me. To the point I couldn't sleep. But yeah, like, this Doki Doki literature game is messed up. Like, it is intensely weird and creepy, and I don't even know. But I'm just saying, it is not for those who have triggers, because there's one girl in there that talks about her dad like he's going to beat her if she doesn't eat all of her food or if she isn't home on time or whatever. Like, it sounds really distressing. Like, and I know that I know people that have had that kind of situation in their life, so that kind of like ticks me the wrong way. I've had depression. I know people who've had crippling depression. It's these are big issues that they're talking about here. And the thing is that Matt, Pat, and Stephanie are like, you know, in this situation, you know, they talk about how somebody would actually be in that situation, because this girl, like, I'm fiddling with things because I'm so uncomfortable right now, is talking about, you know, for the festival or whatever. And the thing is like Stephanie says, and it's exactly the truth. Like, I've had depression myself. It's something that I struggle with quite often. But she's like, if you were depressed, you're not looking forward to the festival at all. You don't want anything to do with it. You don't want to be around people. You don't want to be there. And it's exactly the truth. Like, this girl didn't want to do that, but she's trying to be strong for everybody else, but she's just not doing well. And like, that hit home for me, one, because that was me. I've known people, and I've known a person who actually killed themselves. So that terrified me and gives me a whole new respect for people that I know that had to actually deal with that. I am almost in tears just thinking about it. Like, it is very emotionally draining game, for sure. And terrifying. Just all of the weird is happening, and I have to finish it. I don't really want to, but I have to. I'm going to need your good vibes and your prayers, guys, because this is going to be a terrifying week for sure. And it's going to affect me, and it's going to affect what happens in these videos for sure. Like, it is going to have a rippling effect. Also, I wore my hat today, but I put it on, and I put it on before my hair had time to, like, set itself. I feel like I'm talking about, like, cookies or, like, a cake or something. But, like, before it really had time to set, and so I really messed up my hair. So I couldn't wear it. I'll wear it on the way home because that's going to be fine. But still, I love this hat. It does not, like, because the yarn is so small, it doesn't actually protect from the cold. But I like the way it looks. And it's so cute and so bright and lovely. See, this is what I need in video games. Just bright and cheery colors. Like My Little Pony or something. I don't know. I had to watch something good after that, so I did the Try Not to Laugh challenge, where I laughed so hard. And I felt bad because I was shaking the bed because I was laughing so hard and trying to keep it in that I was afraid I was going to wake up my wife. Yeah, I'm gonna be so tired today, so I'm gonna have to get a cup of coffee. I don't even drink coffee. I hate coffee, but I'm gonna have to get a cup of coffee when I'm in there, just to keep myself awake. I tried to have an apple this morning, but the apple I had was disgusting, so I had to throw it out. Like, my day is already messed. So, and it's gonna be busy because it's Monday. Monday and Tuesday are the most busiest days, and then it kind of teeters off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But this is one of the most, like, busy days we have, so it's gonna be a rough go for me today, for absolutely sure. But I gotta get in there. It's getting late. It's 22, and I need to get a cup of coffee while I'm in there, so, and get everything ready to go. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Kid Charming out.